Well, it's the middle of November and my dirt bike needs some work before I'm going to be riding that again. I think I'm just going to do a little trip down memory lane of the track days this year and how things went. This bike has treated me fairly well. Last year I upgraded the suspension front and back. I believe I put this on before the end of last year. I can't even remember. I might have only got this tail section on at the beginning of this year. Then I did a few track days and put the rear sets on. And I put fresh tires on. Those are the big things I did with this bike this year. Now, you can see there's still plenty of tread on these tires, but they have gone through enough heat cycles. They are cooked. And as you can tell by this build up here, I still need to make some adjustments to my suspension. I haven't ridden in a while now because we finished up the track days and I never put the stock tail section back on so that I could start riding on the road again. So, before the season starts up again, there's a couple things I need to do with this bike. Well, there's one thing I need to do. This ABS system on the bike is garbage. The Bosch ABS that KTM uses for this bike is absolutely terrible, and everyone involved should be ashamed. So what I've got here is my front master cylinder brake line, comes down, goes somewhere in here behind the plastics, goes into some sort of a computer guided box, the brain of the ABS, I guess. And then a line comes out and comes down to our caliper. What I need to do is take this line off. I'm going to just plug up the holes that the front brake line go in and out of so that the rear ABS will still work and all the computer stuff still works. And I'm just going to run a line straight from here down to there. And I'm going to get rid of the ABS. The ABS actually almost caused me to crash a couple of times this past year. I would much rather have my front wheel slide a little bit than to have my front brake feel wooden and have no braking power at all. And that's what the ABS did to me. Usually going into turn 19, where the exit of the turn is a wall. It was very uncomfortable, and maybe I'll splice in some video of that happening. That has to happen. What I might want to do is change out the tires and put some slicks on. If I can find some slicks for this, I'm going to do that for the track days. And I'll probably have to get another set of tire warmers so I can run the Supermoto warmers and put warmers on this as well. But these tires just heat cycled like crazy because they'd be out on the track for 15 to 20 minutes and then off the track for 45 minutes again. So they'd heat up and cool down and heat up and cool down several times every single day. And I got a couple of months of track days out of them, but they're shot now. So if I can put some slicks on, that'll probably be worth a couple of seconds at the track, really. And I can just run the warmers to keep it from heat cycling, so it's just one cycle every day instead of several cycles every day. And the last thing that's on the wish list is fixing this situation. As you can see there, I don't know if it shows up that great now, but this guard has scraped the ground a few times through the right turns. And once at turn 3, it actually made me go quite wide. I think there's a couple videos where you can actually hear this thing scraping on the pavement. So I can just pull this guard off, I guess, and see what that'll get me. That's probably going to be the first step, but the next option is going to be to replace the whole exhaust system with one that comes up the tail section. and just gets that pipe right out of the way. But for now, that front brake is the biggest thing, and then the tires are second most important. And I made it through the year without crashing at all on this bike or the Supermoto, which is probably just due to the fact that we had very few Supermoto days at Western, or whatever the track's supposed to be called now. I'm going to make some changes to that bike, mostly just putting in a faster throttle cam. Supermoto's in the living room because I want my tires to not get cold and be no good for next year, so they're staying heated. But yeah, I'm going to put a faster throttle cam on the Supermoto and a new chain, because the chain that's on there got stretched like crazy already. And hopefully that'll keep me from having to twist my arm right around the throttle to get it going. Anyway, I'll be back to do this stuff at some point.